It's Real Side of H-Town, 97.9 The Box. Madd Hatta Morning Show in the studio with us, the one, the only Bryan Michael Cox is in the building.
Yeah. What up, family?
H-Town homie, man,
Yeah, man.
done made us proud, done went out there, turned into this big-time super producer of multi-platinum hits. You know, we ain't gonna talk about how much money he done made. We ain't gonna count his dollars and nothing like that. We just proud of the young brother that he went and made a good thing of himself. So, before we get into all that and start hyping you up and all that, how's your family, man? Because, of course, you are from H-Town, so I know you might have been affected by Harvey and 09 as well.
Well, luckily for us, we didn't have too much flood damage. We had some wind damage, some roof damage. And like I said, like literally across the way, Highway 6, where my old house was, literally underwater. You know what I mean? It was
So
crazy.
You got out at a good time?
Got out at a good time. I sold the house like 6 years ago, so it worked out. You know what I mean? In the long run, it worked out. But just, everybody's safe. You know, my stepfather, though, he actually lost a lot. He lost he had like 5 feet of water in his house. Like he lost everything. You know, so. It's it's unfortunate, but we didn't have too many. We didn't have too much damage. My mom and my grandfather, and we didn't really have too much damage. So
good, man, good.
Cool.
Now, for the person that doesn't know Bryan Michael Cox, it's not capping because it's the truth. But for the person that doesn't know, because a lot of times we know the person, we see the singers and the artists, the entertainers, we see their face, but the producers behind the scene that really made the song, who wrote the song, who put it all together. A lot of times people don't know anything about those people. Yeah. And so here's the guys from H-Town. They probably don't know some of their favorite songs from some of their favorite artists were written by a guy from right here out the city. Yeah. Yeah. Tell them some of the big songs and artists that you had a chance to work with. You got some other cool stuff going on. We want to talk about that.
I worked with everybody from Usher. I did, You Got It Bad, Confessions. I work a lot with Jermaine Dupri. I work with Puff on, Making a Band. I've done Justin Bieber. I've done Mariah Carey, Shake It Off. We've gone together. I did Mary J. Blige, Be Without You, Monica. I worked with everybody from Gwen Stefani to,
Easiest artist to work with was?
Easiest artist to work with clearly is, I think what I would say a young Chris Brown was very easy to work with. You know what I mean? I did Say Goodbye on Winter for Chris Brown, and he just was, extremely energetic in the studio. Could you throw anything at him, he'd singing it right back. You know what I mean? And just he was like 15 at the time. You know what I mean? But I mean, everybody was pretty much everybody I named is consummate professionals. Trey Songz gets in, kills it. Usher is. I mean, me and Rico love talk about Usher all the time. How his tone is really what carries, like what makes. There are people who can sing, right? But then there's people who have like signature dynamic tone. You know what I mean? And Usher is one of those people that has just a clear, dynamic, recognizable tone. It's almost like, you go to the other extreme, how recognizable Keith Sweat tone was.
Right,
when he came out, I was like, it's gonna be a hit.
Right.
Like Usher is like, he could sing "Mary Had a Little Lamb," it's gonna be a smash. Probably true. Probably like that. You know what I mean?
Now, B, tell them how you really got started, because a lot of guys, and gals out here, they love the music business, would like to be a part. But the honest to God truth is, favor ain't fair. Yeah. As my good friend Little Kiki like to always say. Yeah. And what was your walk? Because some people think that sometimes you just walk into you didn't work to get to where you got to. It took something to get you.
I mean, the journey started here a long time ago. You know what I mean? Obviously, I've known Madd Hatta for a long time, and it started. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day. It was a group called Groove You. Remember that group?
Yeah, I remember Fine.
So one of my great friends at the time, a guy named Teron Mitchell, was in the group, and he, basically kind of, took me under his wing early. This was like around the time I met you and Crazy C, and then through him I met another guy named Greg Curtis. Greg Curtis, who's like my musical father in this whole bit. He basically took me in his wing, taught me everything I needed to know about actually making beats and production and equipment and all that stuff. And then from there, I went to HSPVA. I graduated from HSPVA, so I was doing music at school. Right. Going to work with Greg and mentoring with him at the studio.
He's a crazy musician.
I mean, he's ridiculous. Yeah. And from there, when I graduated high school, I was like, well, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Decided to go to Atlanta because I was going. It was either Atlanta or New York, and I was a little intimidated by New York. And I remember we had a conversation about New York, and he was like, yo, you should go to Atlanta. And I talked to a few people. Everybody kept saying to go to Atlanta because Atlanta was popping at the time. Yeah. Like 97, 96, 97. Atlanta was on. So I was like, okay, and it wasn't as like crazy as like New York felt like you know what I mean. New York felt like it was going to be like me jumping in the fire. You know what I mean? Where Atlanta felt a little more like a an easy transition from Houston
yeah,
and the lifestyle I was used to, right? Yeah. So went to Atlanta and literally, I don't know if you guys, I'm showing my age at this point, but there used to be this book called the Yellow Pages, the white pages, you know what I mean?
What's that?
Phone numbers.
What's that? You know what I mean? You have to go find phone numbers. You know what? Exactly. Now you can Google everything, but back then Google was Yellow Pages and White Pages, and I remember being in Atlanta, and I was going to Clark Atlanta University. And I opened the White Pages every day, and I would find studios, random studios in Atlanta to try to intern at. That's the thing, it's a process. I feel like a lot of people jump into the music business or entertainment business and like, okay, overnight, I'm starting at the top. Mm-hmm. Where I viewed it like, okay, I don't know if that's because of my beginnings being from Houston. We naturally have, we're humble people here. We naturally have a high level of humility here. I was okay, but listen, I'm gonna approach this like I would approach school or approach, a real life, okay? Mm-hmm. I know that I'm at a certain level. I know I'm not at the top. I know I'm not, where Chucky Thompson or where Dallas or where Jermaine Dupri or where all these cats, these names that I see. I know I'm nowhere near that. So I got to get an entry point. This thing about business, where's the entry point? You know what I'm saying? And for me, the entry point was when I was down here, I worked at Guitar Center. I worked with Greg. I knew equipment very well because of that. So I said, okay, my entry point is going to be, let me go find an internship. Let me try to engineer. Let me try to get an assistant engineer. Let me learn a little more about tape. Let me learn a little more about, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And let my approach be when I get into the door. You know what I'm saying? Let me learn a little more. Let me develop a little more. And then I'll hit them over the head when I got records ready. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what happened. Long story short, what happened was, I ended up meeting Noonie, Chris Hicks and Ryan Glover from Noontime. And then I met Jagged Edge like soon thereafter, and John T. Austin soon thereafter. And then what happened was I started making records with them. And then Ideal, I get a call from my cousin Donnie Scantz calls me. He's like, yo, hey.
Ideal from out of H-Town.
Ideal from H-Town. Called me, was like, yo, we're coming to work with Noontime. And I told him that you was up there, and I was like, yo, come on, I got some joints ready for him.
Okay.
And they came down and we did Get Going and Creep In.
Is that your first hit?
Mm-hmm. Get Going was the first hit record.
Wow.
And simultaneously, I was working with Jagged on what ended up becoming J.E. Heartbreak, and then we did He Can't Love You, Let's Get Married. And that was my introduction to Jermaine, and we just kind of, from there the dominoes just started falling. You know what I mean? Tony Braxton, Aaliyah, it just started happening really fast. We're talking about from 97 to like 2001, it was just like cat quick, you know what I mean? And then after 2001, it just went crazy, you know what I mean?
So did you ever get a chance, and when you're doing all this work, while it's happening, do you know that it is happening? Like, do you have enough time to like, wow, I'm working with some of the biggest in the game, or are you just so busy working? It's not a time for amazement. It's work time.
Yeah, no, I'm keep real, man. I just dove into the work. I was just so appreciative to be working. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was just so appreciative to be in the room. I think that for me it was just, man, we got Aaliyah today. You know what I'm saying? Like okay, we're good. Well, let's go. Tony Braxton is here. Okay, you know what I mean? Just like, I think that I didn't even have time to really get starstruck. You know what I mean? It was almost like. I remember the first time I got starstruck was when, I was in the studio with Mariah. That was the first time because it felt like a superstar walked in. Because she was, you know what I mean? Can we find out Mariah's one of the realest people you want to know. But at the time, it just felt like she walked in, she had like 100 people. We were at Jermaine's house working. She brought 100 people with her. She had the glasses on, hair was just flying. I'm like, yo, that's Mariah Carey over there. You know what I mean? It was like the first time, like me, her, and Jermaine in the room, and it's quiet, and you don't even know how to start. She's like, okay, guys, what are we doing? And Jermaine's looking at me like, okay, Bryan, what are we doing? And I'm like, you know what I mean? You didn't you do Oscar, my baby? You the one. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Is it hard for you, or was it hard for you, particularly when you first started out, to direct these superstars? Because a lot of these people come with huge egos. And here you are, you still fresh to the game, and you ain't ready to put down your ego game yet, so to speak. So how do you manage to? Hey, Mariah, I know you like that note right there.
You gotta get that again.
But that ain't right for this. Yeah. She already got 18 platinums before you get there. You know what I'm saying? So
it's all about gauging the room. You know what I mean? Some artists are like sponges. I mean, artists who's been around for a long time. They want to be guided. Some artists they come in and okay, Bryan, what are we doing? Is that right? You'd be very surprised how many top-notch artists, you know what I mean, are looking for that guidance. You know what I'm saying? on the flip side of it, you know, there are people like when I worked with Genuine, there was like G. My first time working with him, G didn't really want to buy in the room. You know,
he's like that. He'll tell you. Yes.
And I had to really coerce him. Like, yo, listen, Genuine, you want me in the room. You know what I mean? I know you gets down. I know you do. You know what I mean? But trust me.
I think he never trusted his vocals.
That's what it was.
Which is amazing about that guy.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
He's not. He never. And I love Genuine. But he'll tell you that he didn't. So I know his whole process was never having nobody in the room while he does his vocals. So I'm surprised that you were able to get him to calm down, relax. I'm not judging you. I already believe that you're awesome.
I mean, he's a star. I mean, at the time I worked with him, it's like I was like, yo, bro, like you're Genuine. Like I'm not. You know what I mean?
But people don't know that they have those kind of fears they're human beings.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, all they see is the superstar on the video or television or something like that. You get to see him. It's very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Where you see him at. You know what I'm saying? You see him when the lights are not off. The whole crew may have to sit out in the hallway. Now it's just you and them, so you get to see him almost naked, almost, so to speak. So
I think what's interesting too when you see artists like in the very beginning of their career, like, you know, we all witnessed, you know, the Destiny Child phenomenon, the phenomenon that is Beyonce. I think that, you know, that's what I always tell people, that was the session that made me know I wanted to be a producer. You know, when we working with Greg, and we came by the lab, and we did 2 songs, right? And I'll never forget it because it was the first time I saw an artist like really nail it. And she was like 13 or something like that, 14. And, you know, her and Kelly were rocking it. And I was like, yo, these girls are going to blow up. You know what I mean? So one of the moments is kind of like...
So no surprise for you to see Beyonce.
Oh, not. I'm talking about, I was so like, you know that was going to happen? It was like so predictable to me because I'd seen it. You know, we whoever was at the, you know, in the very beginning, we had seen it. Like, oh, this girl's going to be... Like these girls, at the time we were talking about the girls in general, these girls are going to be stars.
Bro, let me ask you, with the current, how the industry is nowadays, you know, it doesn't seem like, you know, the big time producers, it's not like it used to be. No. How has the business changed for you over the years? Because it just seems like there was a time where it seemed like the role of the producer is getting more diminished, diminished.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The money pool doesn't seem to be as thick as it once was. So I'm just curious.
I'm saying that like.
So I'm just curious. You know what your take is on where the industry's gone and how producers are perceived and looked at. You know, even now, even with studios, you know, everybody has a studio in their house. Everybody's recording on their
laptop.
computer.
Laptop is where it's at.
The game has changed so much.
I think that is all of that. Technology has a major factor on why the diminishing of a producer exists. You know what I mean? Now, you know, back in the day, when it was coming up, you know, like to say that I wanted to be a producer, you know what I mean? Like naturally, that was like a huge deal. It's cost like in order when I worked at Guitar Center, and I know to get equipment in order to say I would be a producer, you know, a minimum, you know,
that's right,
$8,000, $10,000. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
a starter kit.
That's the starter kit. That's not even. That's a pre-production. You know what I mean?
I know.
You feel me?
Yeah, I know.
I know what I'm talking about. So it's like, you needed money.
Yeah.
To be a producer, you know what I mean? So that made that pool of people smaller. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, you know, $10,000 is not easy money to come up on. You know what I mean? But now, you know, you can basically get a used laptop, and you know, you can download programs for free, and say that you're a producer. And these beats are becoming like, it's not about producing per se. It's about just beats. Leasing beats. And so think about this, right? If I'm a record label and somebody leased the Panda beat, designer leased that beat from somebody, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For $30 or it was $5, something like that. You know, you have the beat websites where people lease it for $5. Mm-hmm. So let's say that you lease Panda for $20, right? It becomes a huge record. If he puts it out, Kanye finds the record, puts it on his album, right? As a part 2 or whatever. Record blows up, they go back, put the record out, record goes #1. Well, Def Jam, you know, they didn't have to pay no money for that. And if they did, they found the guy, and they might have paid him a few grand because, you know, at that point the record's already gone. You already released the beat, so you have no leverage when it comes to the master. You can't say, well, you only need $25,000 because, no, it's a hit already. Mm-hmm. We're not, you know, so you're going to make your publishing, cool, we're going to pay you, you know, but we want to pay you. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So if I can go lease a beat that sounds like a Timberland beat, or sounds like a Bryan Michael Cox beat, or sounds like, you know what I mean, whatever, for $20. Well, why would I pay Danger the $35,000? Why would I pay Timberland the $50,000? Why would I pay Dre the $80,000?
Yeah.
Why would I do that? I don't have to, because we could just go find beats like B Cox, boom, and there's going to be 100 beats that come up. We're going to pick 5, lease them joints for $25, and put it out. You know what I mean?
If it starts to pop, we move on.
You know,
yeah.
So that's the thing. So now what producers are getting a little smart now about that, because they know that we've lost the value in that. Young producers have lost the value in that. Mm-hmm. So now what they're trying to do is they're leaning on the artist thing. Okay, well, cool. As a producer, like for a Cardi B single, you know what I mean? My guy Jay White did it, produced it. So for him, it's important to have, like, on the single cover, Cardi B produced by Jay White did it, and he can go take that and say, okay, yo, this record's now number 2 record in the country on the Hot 100. My name is on the front of the actual cover, and I'm DJing, or I'm, you know, doing beat battles. I mean, all these different things. And now there's different ways for the producer to get noticed. Make sure to get. But as far as the money on the actual record, especially the way streaming works and stuff like that, ain't no real money in it no more. Not like that.
So how does it? I mean, yeah, you can live off of what you've done all these years, but you know, you still got to look into the future. You still love the game of music.
Absolutely.
You still got your expensive ass studio in your crib,
still
the one that you go to. So how do you continue to eat with the game changing so much, so fast, so quickly?
You have to diversify, right? You have to look at what's needed and try to attack that. So for me, it's okay. The easy transition, because I'm a musician first, is film and TV. You know what I'm saying? The easy transition is, okay, yo, we're gonna start scoring. We're gonna do music for film. We're gonna do some music for TV. So, like, I'm working on the Fox show Star right now.
Okay.
John T. Austin is supervising music.
Congratulations.
And so I'm doing that, and that is another way. You know what I mean? Because TV and film, they pay. Not only they pay well, and they pay on time. And the residuals crazy. You know what I mean?
I once got a TV show check. It's nice.
So you know, so for me, it's okay, cool. That's a lane. You know what I mean? You know, let's get into scoring movies. You know, I got an agent at CAA that all they do is go find me things like short films to score, things of that nature. And granted, I may do 10 things that don't come out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until, you know, they may take over. You know, movies are different, especially when they're independent movies. But if there's a budget of $300,000 to do this movie, they're gonna have $50,000 aside for music.
Right.
You know what I mean? That adds up.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's just changing
your mindset. So you don't sit around there like, oh man, the game all messed up. These boys is ruining the game. You just say, I gotta diversify.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't worry about that.
You can't. I was just telling somebody outside, we were talking about, you know, we were asked about trap, and like, you know, why is trap music, you know, do you think trap music is gonna last? And I said, okay, think about this, all right? Think about when we were younger, right? And think about people that are 10 to 15 years older than us, right? And the music that we find classic, you know what I mean? They thought was trash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, let's really put it in perspective. So now, you have kids that are graduating high school, graduating college, getting married, and all this stuff. You know, I'm 39 years old, so I know that people younger than me that's going, their 20s, going through life, right? This is their music, whether we feel it or not, whether we feel like it's quality. You know what I mean? Somebody out there is, you know, Bad and Bougie is there, that nostalgic. I mean, I love that song. I don't want to.
This is bad. I know.
You know what I mean? I don't want to. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like,
example.
that is their
song of this time.
That's that. You know, that's going to make them feel a certain kind of way in 10 years when they're at their partner's wedding and they're playing the songs from the year they graduated high school.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not going to, you know, there are some songs that we made. There are a handful of songs we made that are going to be classics forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? But for the most part, you know what I mean? You know, somebody who's in their mid-20s is not going to throw on intros, Let Me Be the One, and they're going to feel the kind of nostalgia that I would feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a nice song, though.
It's a great record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of my favorites.
Yeah.
But they're not going to feel, you know, they're going to be like, what is that? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Now, you can play Mary's Real Love, because certain songs are just going to be
Test of time.
forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, we have to really look at it. I think it's easy for people to criticize what the youth are doing, you know, youth is doing, but it's like, it's always been that. You know, you go back to the Motown days, people thought 10 years, people were 10, 12 years older than, you know, them thought Motown is trash. Motown was, for us, it's like,
that's what it was at the time. Yeah.
You know, so we have to really get out of that concept of like bashing these young people, because you know, it's up to us to keep our thing alive, and it's up to them to build their own thing, and hopefully they'll have some respect for what we do.
Bryan Michael Cox is who we talking to, super producer in the building straight out of H-Town. Now, we got to get down to the business of the business.
Yeah.
I know you, because I was just being nosy, getting to know your producer business and the whole nine. I know Cooper's a producer too, so.
Yeah.
But you, of course, because Harvey's happened,
Exactly.
you know, we're trying to rebuild the city, and being one of the city, you definitely want to help your brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
And do some things for the city. So what is it that you got going on? Talk to me.
I'm doing myself, Robert Glasper,
Okay.
and Latoya Luckett. You know, we're all, you know, hometown, you know, kids, grew up here. Robert's one of my best friends. You know, we grew up together, and he called me the day after the storm hit, and we're like, yo, we gotta do something. You know, we called his aunt, his grandmother. I'm calling my family, and we're like, we gotta do something. He was like, yo, I want to put together like a benefit concert. So initially, we were trying to figure out if we could do something here quickly. And you know, we just you know, our agents couldn't figure out if venues would be ready. You know what I mean? Just was, we were in the middle of the storm. You know what I mean? So we decided it might be better for us to do the first one in LA. Basically, it's Help Houston Hill. We're doing it at the Troubadour on the 18th. And you know, we have, you know, Estelle, BJ the Chicago Kid, Carmen, Lupe Fiasco, Brandy.
Nice, yeah.
Rob is going to perform obviously with his band, and you know, we have a lot more people confirming this week. And it's just basically the whole all the money is going to go to Direct Relief Fund and to St. John's Bread of Life. And you know,
I like that you said already where the money is going, because so many people have been having problems. They're collecting money, but you don't know where this money is going.
Exactly.
They know if it goes to the Bread of Life, they know that there's going to be some use with that money immediately. So I'm happy to hear that, bro.
Exactly. So we, you know, we're just trying to get the word out, and people, you know, to support. And we're gonna I'm a link today for people to donate. At the venue, we're gonna have people, you know, things set up, people to donate. Of course, we're selling tickets, but it's 100% of the profits are coming home. You know what I mean?
Now, will you guys be able to at some point do a show here as well?
Yeah, that's in the works.
Okay.
You know, we want to do. I mean, we want to do one here. We want to do one in New York. We want to do one in Miami now because it's happening.
Yeah,
You know, in Miami. And that, I mean, I was born in Miami and raised here, so both my hometowns got hit. So it's kind of, that was like, you know, it's like near and dear to me to make sure that we, you know, cover all the boundaries. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm wrapped up in it at this point. You know, we had a good, you know, conversation with the city council yesterday, and I'm just really trying to do my best to do my part. You
That's
know
right.
what I mean?
That's right. I understand. We appreciate it. So you're going to be doing this on Monday?
Monday.
And so the event on Monday, will like people, will y'all be streaming
Yeah.
anything where people can make donations while watching and so forth?
We'll be streaming. We have one partner right now. NPR is going to be, you know, the first partner, but then I'm talking Facebook. We're figuring the whole bit out now.
Okay.
So we're going to be streaming in a few places, and of course, once I get that information, I'll probably have the agents there tomorrow. We'll
Let us
send
know.
it
We
out.
put it on the website and the whole nine.
Appreciate that, man. I appreciate
But
that.
I appreciate you coming here. I appreciate what you're doing. Of course, it's good to see when, you know, the hometown, you know, homies make good. They come back and like, hey, let me make sure my neighborhood and my people are straight as well.
Absolutely.
So it's good to see it. But I always know that you're here too, B. You know, you do your thing, and I'm so proud of you. I know this sounds crazy to say, but I've seen so many of you guys, you know, grow up. You know, so it's exciting to see. You know, when you're talking to one of your friends, oh yeah, the dude that wrote that song, that's my dude right there.
Yeah.
Brian, any new projects you're working on, or you can tell us about?
I can talk about Usher's album.
Oh, really?
We're in the midst of that. So it's me, JD, Rico Love, Danger, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis.
Wow, Jimmy Jam. Okay.
So it's, you know, I could talk about that. You know, we're in the process of finishing that up. You know, Usher's extremely focused. So, you know, hopefully we'll have a single, this, you know, the last quarter of the year album.
What kind of stuff y'all working on this album? Is it kind of the same?
It's like I would say it's classic, you know, Usher with the splash of 2017, because he's still, you know, he's still got the moves, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, we just want to give the fans exactly what they've been asking for. You know what I mean?
I'm curious about the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis track, because, you know, they're the elder statesman producers of the album. So
Yeah.
I'm curious.
But they've
as
been a
to-
part of, pretty much every album. I mean, since 8701.
Really?
Jimmy and Terry, they.
Oh, you sure
You
right.
remind
Yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
help
you're
all those
right.
songs.
I'm tripping, you're right.
And Confessions, they did
Yeah.
a lot of songs of Confessions.
Yeah.
Bad Girl and all them songs. You know what I mean? So Jimmy and Terry, they've been the
part of
OGs.
it,
You know what I mean?
for a long time,
With us
yeah.
for a long time. They've been the OGs, and now they're like the triple OGs, and now we're talking to them like Sensei. What is it?
how do y'all exchange? And I know, Coop, if you got some more questions. How do you exchange? Like, do you go to those kind of guys for advice? Like,
Absolutely.
you talk to a Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis?
Absolutely.
I mean, what? Just
Jimmy and Terry, Babyface, like absolutely, like I text Jimmy yesterday. Like these guys are people that, I adore, I idolize. You know what I mean? And it's amazing to me that I actually can text them. You know what I mean? So I do my best to, I try to ask all the questions. Between him, Teddy Riley, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and Babyface. You can't really get, but Quincy Jones is it. If you,
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever you want to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I got 3 out of the 4 on the jack. You know what I mean? So, I ask questions all the time. I ask them about certain albums and where they were sonically. Like me and Jimmy were having a conversation last week about Alexander O'Neal's Hearsay album, and I was saying how
Right.
that album's actually the connection between Janet's Control and Rhythm Nation. Because
Okay.
Hearsay is like their first concept album. You know what I mean? And then that led into Rhythm Nation, and so I had a million questions about that particular album. And I remember that was my mama's jam. That album was.
do you ever steal any of their sounds? All those great producers, because I know everybody have these signature
swapping sounds?
Yeah,
and we do sound swaps every now and again. I know me and Danger, we do sound swaps all the time. So it's just a matter of that, or like Polo we may do some sound swaps.
Okay. I'm just curious. I don't know because I know it's shop talk, so to speak. So if I
Yeah.
got those signature drum sounds, I don't know if I'm sharing that, like the sounds that they did with the Janet Jackson that you heard on. The
Oh,
project.
yeah.
I don't know if they would share that. I was just curious if
a
they
lot of
would,
it back
though.
in the day was that 808, that rolling 808 machine. A lot of it wasn't like samples. A lot of it was just that drum
Sound,
machine,
yeah.
And that now Roland's bringing all them sounds back. Roland got all those. They got the D50, they got the 808 coming back. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So you can get them sounds fast. You know what I mean? Like legitimately.
What's the future? Not for just Bryan Michael Cox, but overall with music. What do you think? What do you see? Because now you got it's streaming the music.
Yeah.
There's no NPR. There ain't no CD players no more. No cassette. So what do you see coming? Because I know you talk to those guys and they know what's coming next.
Yeah, what's interesting is I've been doing legislation, like going with NARIS, going to Washington D.C., going to the local governments, trying to regulate streaming, because streaming is out of control. The way that they don't pay is ridiculous.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and it's because there's no regulation, there's no government.
It's Wild Wild West.
You know how like they have government regulation, restrictions on radio and things of that nature. There are laws. You know what I mean? Where in streaming, there's really no laws. You know what I mean? So I've been, we got a few things on the table, the AMP Act, and certain things that are on the table that I'm working with.
What would that law do, if you don't mind me asking?
It would basically give a minimum
Rate.
on what streamers could pay. You know what I mean? Right now I believe Tidal is paying the most. They're paying almost like it's radio. You know what I mean? Not as much as radio, but it's the most. It's the closest. You know what I mean? And that's why and you get to own part of the company if you are a part. If you're part of Tidal, you get to own part of the company. So Jay-Z is doing a tremendous job with that, and people keep trying to shoot that down, but it's like they're shooting it down because he's changing
the game again.
He's changing the game. You know what I mean? But I see the future. First of all, I feel like people are things happen in a cycle from a sonic perspective. So I think that quality is going to be a good blend of what people deem as what not quality and quality. Somebody's going to find a way to blend what older people find as trash and what younger people find as old. There's going to be a blend. I feel like Bruno Mars is a good example of that. I feel like you know what I'm saying. I feel like artists like Daniel Caesar, even what Bryson's doing. I feel like these artists are finding that blend to make things that you could keep it gully or keep it trap. You know what I mean? But you can put this kind of quality, quote unquote quality type melody, chord progression on top, and we're gonna find that sweet spot. You know what I mean? Because we always do. Our culture, we the culture, so we're always the ones finding that sweet spot. You know, when you see Taylor Swift with, you know, with Screw and 808s on a single, you like, I'm looking at the TV like, what is this? You know what I mean? So we always find, our culture, we always, black people, we always find that sweet spot, and everybody follows.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like we're gonna get there. I think we're right there right now. Urban music is the most consumed music in the world right now. You know, it's just we're not getting paid. We need to get paid because streaming is not regulated.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, good luck on that, man.
Yes, sir.
I know, we appreciate you out there fighting the good fight, man.
Yeah, man.
Bryan Michael Cox. Oh, one more time, tell them all the information about the deal that you got going on Monday.
Help Houston Hill at the Troubadour on the 18th. You know, it's going to be a good one. We live streaming right now. We're going to do. I know NPR is one of the places. Hopefully, we'll have more links this week for you guys. But just support, man. We're giving the money to the St. John's Bread of Life and Direct Relief Fund, and you know we're trying to focus on the community.
All right, Bryan Michael Cox. Once again, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you, my brother.
All right.